FE Investments is in receivership and deposits are at risk. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, I'm Florian.Heise and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I have my stein of coffee and I hope you're all having a good Friday. I thought we'd have a look at this article that was mentioned by a viewer in the comments regarding FE Investments. I'll just move it over so we can see it. In New Zealand, entering in receivership and 53 million deposits are at risk. 53 million deposits. Now, considering everything that's happening in the news at the moment, all the issues that are going on around the globe, and the fact that, well, New Zealand is if not more or as much locked down as Australia, this can't fill many people with confidence. So Auckland headquartered financier FE Investments, holding 53 million in term deposits, has gone into receivership, leaving deposit holders extremely worried. Now, have you invested with FE Investment, guys? Have you got a term deposit? Let us know in the comments how you're handling it. The last time we discussed something similar was a gold seller in Western Australia, Bullion Bros, that went under liquidation. And I heard, my understanding was that most people who, some people had $50,000 of gold in safe deposit boxes there. They were able to get it. Eventually, their record keeping was a bit iffy. Apparently, that's what was told by the auditors. So, an FE investment director has just confirmed the move, although it is yet to appear on the company's official website. Andrew Schunauer, one of 3 directors, said Corda Mentha was now in charge of the business, but Schunauer said he could say nothing more. Well, there you go, guys. There you go. The company announced further details on its website, saying Neil Jackson and Brendan Gibson of Corda Mentha were appointed joint receivers and managers of all of the assets and undertakings of FE Investments. Those 2 are now in control of the assets and undertakings of the company. Borrowers should keep paying, FE said, but those who had deposits would not be paid. As a consequence of the receivership, all payments of principal and interest to deposit holders have been suspended. So there you go. Do you think the borrowers are going to keep paying? Do you think they will? I'm sure they'll go home if they don't. The receivers will soon write to all known deposit holders, advising them of the receivership and the next likely steps. Further communication with deposit holders will likely be in May, when the receivers will provide further information about FEI and the receivership, the business said. The financier is headquartered in Chorus House in Auckland. I mean, there you go, guys. They've got to wait until May to find out what's happening. That's a terrible situation to be. So FE Investments is an ASIC or ASX listed business whose chief executive is Marcus Ritchie of Sydney. Ritchie is also a director of the New Zealand registered FE Investments, along with Auckland's Jacob Plogue. The New Zealand business is wholly owned by FE Investments Group in Sydney, company's office records show. The Financial Markets Authority said today it had been notified of the receivership of the financier, which had been unable to meet the minimum financial requirements under its trust deed or its Reserve Bank license as a non-bank deposit taker. The FMA understands this will be difficult for FE investment investors, but the appointment of a receiver will ensure an orderly process and protect the interests of all investors in the business. Receivers have been appointed by the company's supervisor, trustee, executor, a statement said. Liam Mason, FMA Director of Regulation, said, "This is terrible news for the investors in this troubled non-bank deposit taker. FE Investments has been in difficulty for some time, following a number of business setbacks. Its problems was not caused by the illness pandemic, but there is no doubt the current economic conditions have made matters worse. So they've been in trouble for a while, and this has just pushed them over the edge. We've seen that a few times in other sectors, in other retail sectors. This is why when people are saying that they think it's going to return to normal, I have to question that. I really have to question that people think everything is going to return to normal. Like you'll flick a switch and we'll be right back. You know, normal, hedonistic, crazy house prices going to the moon. It doesn't make sense. What's happening now is going to be the final hair straw that broke the camel's back. It's going to be what pushes certain businesses over the edge. It's going to be an opportunity that some businesses will say, nah, screw it. It's over. Stepping away. I guarantee you there'll be some small business people that will go, nah, that's it. Had enough. This is out. So, I mean, there you go. We looked at, what was it? Importing Ishka, a furniture, homeware business here in Australia. And what sent them over the edge was just a 1-month delay in their imports. And that was enough to just topple the house of cards. It was their business. They couldn't make that revenue over the Christmas period. Business disappeared. So here's the thing, guys. Particularly with retail, with all the latest things, delays can cause issues. FE Investments is a relatively small non-bank deposit-taking financial company with 54.3 million in retail investments, the statement said. The majority of FEI's 116 investors are individuals, rather than trusts and other entities. Its investors are mainly 84% based in New Zealand, Mason said. The FMA has been engaged with the company since late last year to ensure it was disclosing its situation accurately and has been liaising with the company's supervisor, trustee executors in regard to its oversight of the company. So if people knew this were happening, why wouldn't there be a run on them? Why wasn't there a run on them? Why didn't all the depositors pull out? They probably would have collapsed then a lot quicker. The authority's role in regulating financiers like FE Investments was to ensure the firm's supervisors maintained the minimum level of protections available to investors and to ensure financial disclosures are accurate and up to date. The Reserve Bank, in its role of prudential supervisors, is the primary regulators of businesses like FE Investments, the FMA stated. The authority remained in close contact with FE Investment Supervisor, Trustees Executor, and the Reserve Bank to ensure that the events were being managed in an orderly way and the investors were aware of the receivership, it said. The FMA encouraged investors to email Cordamentha at fei@cordamentha.co.nz on telephone or PO Box. Well, I know we've got a couple New Zealand viewers. I hope you haven't invested in this or know anyone that has. ASX-listed parent FE Investment Groups was downgraded by rating agency Standard & Poor from BB in October to CCC in December. A CCC rating is a speculative investment and vulnerable to non-payment. Following engagement with FMA, FEI withdrew its product disclosure statement in February and stopped accepting deposits or issuing debt securities, the authority said today. The financier was established here in 2003 by TK Shim and Mel Stewart, the financier said. TK Shim's background was in corporate banking with investment relationships, cash flow, lending, and credit skills. He also brought a philosophy of incremental precision and oriental elegance to the company's DNA. Mel Stewart had deep roots in the rural sector and extensive experience in business and property asset-based finance. His broad connections were matched with entrepreneurial flair, creative instinct, and marketing skills, FE Investments said on its New Zealand website. Well, that's some beautiful marketing copy there, but it's not going to fill anyone with confidence now that their deposits are at risk. Well, it shows it's just all spin and BS. It's all spin and BS. One angry client said he was concerned about a deposit of some hundreds of thousands of dollars. The company had his term deposit, which would soon expire, but now he fears the worst. I hope I might eventually get to read a bit more info in the press. Obviously, my main question is how much can I expect to get back? But maybe there are some bigger questions for government, he said. Smaller financier companies deserve support, he said. I knew FEI was struggling, the deposit holder said, referring to media coverage late last year. So I planned to reduce my exposure as soon as my term deposit expired. But that wasn't going to be until later this year, and I guess the illness was too much a hit for them on top of their existing issues, he said. So that's why they couldn't be a run. They were all locked in. That's the risk of the returns you get there, guys. Somewhere between 40 and 60 million of deposits could now be at risk, he estimates. I could tell something was up this morning as we didn't get the quarterly interest payment on Tuesday and no one answered the phone, he said. Visiting the website revealed the financier was no longer offering term deposits, but they were still assuring they were steadfast committed to repaying. So I took a screenshot of the web page at about midday today, he said. But when he checked back just 2 hours later, the website was deleted and the receivership notice had been posted. So there you have it, guys. There you have it. A New Zealand financier with nearly 60 million in deposits at risk. Apparently, this pandemic, this global lockdown, didn't affect them, pushed them over the edge. What do you think, guys? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and you want to help us out, there are a few ways you can. You can share the content, spread the word. You can join the channel on YouTube or on Patreon for a small monthly fee. You can use our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay for your consumer purchases, or Independent Reserve and Kucoin via our referral links. We have PayPal for a direct donation, Gold Pass for a gold donation, and merch from the HeiseSays website or Teespring below. Take care, guys. Have a great day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.